What's going on, guys? Cool Lost City Chronicles back here with another video, and as you all know, we lost by 34 points to the Memphis Grizzlies, and it's just gotten to the point where losing is not the problem, it's just how we lose these games is the problem, and how we lose these games is just frustrating and devastating to watch as a Rockets fan. It's the offense is messy, the defense, there's no identity, it's just horrible. But what I'm discussing today is why Kevin Porter Jr. should not be the point guard. And I understand it's developing, they're trying to develop him into a point guard, but you can't really turn a guy who has basically been a scoring guard for most of his life into a point guard just like that. You needed If you really needed a point guard that badly, you should have drafted one in the draft, a traditional point guard, if that was truly the need for the Houston Rockets, because it's clear Kevin Porter Jr. is a scoring guard. In my opinion, he would thrive as a six-man off the bench as a scoring guard for the Houston Rockets. I personally thought it would be a cool idea to start Jalen Green at the point guard, have Eric Gordon be the starting shooting guard, have Jae'Sean Tate, the rest of the lineup stays pretty much the same, because it's clear that Silas does not want to start LP over Tice for some weird reason. But overall, in my opinion, that would be a pretty cool a test, in my opinion, to see if Jalen Green could run the offense. Obviously, he also is a scoring guard, but at this point, you got to try what you can. And honestly, right now, he's not even trying anything, Steven Silas. He's basically just using the same lineup and expecting different results, and it's not working. Clearly, we're on a 12-game losing streak, and the bottom line is Kevin Porter Jr. is not a point guard, and we have if we wanted to, we could target some pretty good point guards out there like TJ McConnell, who's a defensive point guard. There are guards out there for the Houston Rockets that are easily um that could basically be acquired with the assets we have. And we also don't have to trade Eric Gordon because then, the contract situation. But overall, the Houston Rockets won't get better until they find their true identity. And that starts with a real point guard, because you can't run an offense without a real point guard in the lineup. If there was a real point guard in the lineup, Jalen Green would be thriving right now. Jalen Green would be thriving. Christian Wood would be dominating the pick and roll. Daniel Tice would be catching lobs, but nothing, and I mean nothing, of that is happening right now. And I understand Kevin Porter Jr. is a talented player. He really, really is. Let's just say he's a talented player. He's a skilled player. He knows how to get a bucket. But the fact of the matter is, he is not a point guard. I think even he would agree with that statement. But right now, they have no choice but to play him at the point guard. But really, they do have a choice. They could start to experiment, because it's clear we've literally fallen behind so much in the standings that I think it's time for Silas to start experimenting, because right now he has not experimented whatsoever, and right now we're just stuck with the same exact lineup every single game, and he's expecting different results, but in reality it's all the same. Bunch of turnovers, sloppy offense, terrible defense. Nothing is working with this lineup. So Steven Silas needs to make some changes, starting with trying to attempt at KPJ off the bench as a sixth man for the Houston Rockets. And if that does not work, I'll be wrong. Okay, but the fact of the matter is, he needs to try new things. And this, in my opinion, would be a creative idea to try and test out for the next game or so. So comment down below your thoughts, like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe.